Nothing is real but God. Nothing matters but love for God. God is the only reality. All else that seems real is illusory. God and I are one. Meher Baba. Avatar Meher Baba ki jai. Thank you, Baba, once again for bringing us together. Before we begin the session, today's session, I want us all to sing a happy birthday song for yesterday's birthday baby, who also happens to be our host for Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, Jyoti Parekh. That was her birthday yesterday. Can we all sing a happy birthday song to her? You can unmute your mic and then sing.
Sure.
Yeah, okay.
Happy
Happy
birthday.
birthday to you.
Happy
Happy birthday
to
to
you.
you.
Happy
Birthday,
Jyoti.
Happy
Happy
birthday
birthday
to
birthday
to
you.
you.
Our Meher Baba
Baba
ki
ki
jai.
jai.
Happy birthday to
Okay,
you.
please mute your mics. Please mute your mics.
Thank you
Baba.
everyone.
Thank you,
Feeling
Baba.
blessed. Thankful to all of you. Jai Baba. Thank you.
Jai Baba. Jai
Jai
Baba.
Baba. Thank you.
In fact, these Monday, Wednesday, and Friday sessions, there are a few beautiful girls from Pune who deserve to be mentioned. And of course, one gentleman also from Mumbai. One is, of course, Zia is there. Then Jyoti is there. Then I think Tasneem was there. Then Leena. There were 3 or 4 people who were, sorry, yes, sorry, very sorry. Neeta Garg, very sorry, Neeta, yes. They
Thank
were all
you. But
very
I'm from
enthusiastic.
Bombay also now.
And Rakesh, of course, that
Rakesh.
was there from the Bombay side. They were very enthusiastic. They wanted that we should have these sessions, and we are witnessing this now for almost more than 2 months, 3 months. And thanks to all of you who made this possible. And then I don't know whether Ravi is there. Is Ravi there? Ravi Sehgal. Today is Ravi and Shivani's wedding anniversary. They are not in. So Rakesh, if they come in a little late because it is the wedding anniversary,
Yes,
they
I
wanted to sleep in the afternoon. So I said, never mind. So if Ravi comes in a bit late, please let me know. So we will sing happy wedding anniversary at the end of the session. All right. Now, Friday we did something, and I found it to be a little heavy. You know, people were not asking questions, and they thought, oh my God, it's becoming heavier and heavier, the Monday, Wednesday, Friday sessions. And since we are also celebrating Jyoti's birthday today, and Ravi and Shivani's wedding. No, Ravi and Shivani, okay, fine. But what I'm trying to say, Jyoti always preferred stories, anecdotes. So I thought maybe we would dedicate today more to stories and anecdotes. Although I know that these are the anecdotes which I have already narrated earlier in the past, but there's no harm in repeating it. So I would like to repeat them, maybe a couple of them. And then if we have time, then we'll go to something really heavy, like the law of karma or something like that. So can I put okay, I was gifted by someone who don't want to be named, with this very, very beautiful, what do you call it? Earphone, earplug, earphone. So I'm going to inaugurate it just now for the session. All right. Can you hear me? Anyone can?
Yes, we can hear you. You can hear us? But I think you froze. Jyoti, did Cyrus sir freeze?
Yeah, Sarisa. Sarisa, we can hear you. Can you speak? Can you hear us? We can't hear you now. We can't hear you now. We can't hear you.
There's no voice.
We could hear you a minute back.
Cyrus, we can't hear you. We can't hear you. Plug the earphones out. I can't hear you.
Okay, sometimes with the
We
laptops,
can't hear you.
Hmm.
sometimes with the laptops, no, you need to do the settings. Yeah, you need to change the settings of the headset in the laptop itself.
No, we can't yet hear you.
So I think somebody will have to do it for him. So leave it now. I think he needs to leave the headset and do it directly on the laptop.
Settings need to. Yes.
Okay. Now you can hear me.
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Yeah, okay. I'm
I
just
think you need to do
informed
the
that there-
settings. Hmm.
Okay, chalo. All right. So now we start with the so-called anecdotes with some teaching from Baba. So the first one is that Baba always wanted that after having his darshan, we should go back home straight. The reason being that Baba would say that I am giving you some khajana, some treasure. And if you go here, there, everywhere, you fritter those treasures, you just let it go by. And by the time you go home, you return home empty-handed. And therefore, Baba was very particular that we should return home after having Baba's darshan. Uh, go home straight. Now, there are many ifs and buts. So somebody would ask that Baba, since I have come all the way to Mehrabad or Ahmednagar and I have some business connections here. So Baba would say, you finish all that first, and after having my darshan, you go back straight home. All right, that's one thing. The second thing is that some people coming from abroad, they want to come and watch, let us say, to see the Taj Mahal, or they want to go to Jaipur and they want to see sightseeing. And then, so Baba would say that if you want to do any of these things, you must do that first, and last come to me, and then go back home. Now I am interrupting or interjecting my session now, because I'm just informed that Ravi Sehgal has come in. Ravi, we want to wish you and Shivani a very happy wedding anniversary. In fact, Soumya and I thought that we would do that in the forum rather than do it individually to you, right? So individually we wrote to you, but now from all of us, Ravi and Shivani, a very, very happy wedding anniversary.
Thank you so
Meher
much.
Baba
Baba
ki
ji. Thank
jai.
you so
Jai.
much. Jai Meher
Okay.
Baba. Jai Meher
Jai Baba, Jai Baba.
Jai.
So the only exception to this particular rule was the only exception was that during the war time, I think this was during Chinese aggression in 1962, when some of the Westerners had come to Baba. IVO Deuce was here, and normal practice is to take the flight back to the west from Mumbai. But Baba gave her specific instructions and said that that is for a very specific purpose, that she should go back first to Delhi, and then from Delhi she has to take a flight to wherever she wants to go in the west. The assumption is that the war was on and Baba had some work to do through IVO Deuce, and we all know the history that the Chinese receded without coming further. This is just an assumption. So now the story goes like this. Samya, would you like to narrate Susie Biddu's story? All right. Perhaps you may be aware of Susie Biddu. She is the wife of Biddu, who is a very renowned music director. One of his most famous songs were Dil Bole Boom Boom, that one. So I'm just giving the reference to context. So she had come and she was visiting Mehrabad. This was after Baba dropped his body. And she had a roommate. Now, Soumya will correct me if I go a little wrong here and there, which I do sometimes. So she had a roommate in MPC. At that time, it was MPC, and that roommate was a follower of Muktanand Swami. Now, Muktanand Swami, if you know, he is a direct disciple of Nityanand Swami, and Baba had referred to Nityanand Swami as belonging to the sixth plane of consciousness, which is quite a high plane. In Sufism, we call it a peel. And so she was a follower of Muktanand Swami. And both these, Susie as well as the friend, they had to stay for a while in Mumbai and then take the flight the next day. Susie was to go back to England, to UK. You want to say something?
Yeah.
Say.
No,
So,
actually,
Soumya is, go ahead.
so her friend had suggested that we'll go earlier to Mumbai, and Susie agreed for that. And then she said, after all, we'll be a few days in Mumbai. So she was intending to go to her master's ashram near Vajreshri.
That Ganesh Puri or
Ganesh
something, that
Puri.
place, yeah.
So Susie tells, look here, I will not be prostrating and bowing down because I am from Baba. I'll come with you just like that as a picnic. And they go. So the moment they go over there, she sees Muktanand Swami and she puts her hand out and she says, I'm from Baba. So Muktanand Swami tells, my Guru, Nityanand Swami, is also with Meher Baba. So she's a little relieved that, this man will not expect any obeisance from her. They were there for a day, and the next day she was to fly back to UK. And that's when she got so ill at Ganesh Puri that she could not return to Mumbai to take her flight. And then
She said,
yeah.
All right, she said that she felt vomiting, she felt high temperature, her bowel movements became loose and all that, and she was absolutely thoroughly unfit to travel by air. And the tickets were booked, and the next day happened to be the first day of the school's reopening, so she had to be there. So somehow she asked Biddu to go with the children and go over there, and she said, I'll stay on for a little while in India till I get settled, and after that I will come to UK. After it, I'll come to UK. In the meantime, she just got a thought, that there is a possibility that I have broken Baba's orders of going back straight home. Instead of that, I went to Ganesh Puri. No doubt I did not pay, like bow down or prostrate before Ganesh Puri's Baba, that is Muktanand Swami. But somehow she felt that she has disobeyed Baba's orders, and all of a sudden, intuitively, she felt, I must go back to Mehrabad and bow down at Baba's Samadhi. So the moment she books a taxi, a private taxi, and gets into the taxi, immediately she says, and this has been narrated by her in one of her meetings. I'm sure Nan Umrigar would remember that session because we had gone, I think, to Goa or some. No, this was in Sun and Sen, where she narrated this, that how particular Baba is. Okay, so the moment she sat into the taxi, everything vanished. There was no headache, there was no fever, there was no discomfort in the tummy, and she straight goes to Mehrabad, bows down at Baba's Samadhi, and comes back to Mumbai in the hope of getting her flight tickets as and when. And she also says that this was a peak season. It was not possible to get the tickets for quite some time. And when she went to buy the tickets, she got it immediately. So she took the next flight and she was back home, just one day late. So what we learn from this is, from Susie's story is, that Baba is very particular that once having bowed down to Baba, we should not go anywhere else and go straight back home. Of course, if you have to take a flight or if you have to stay on somewhere in order to go back to, supposing you are from a particular place and you don't get a connecting train and you need to stay overnight in a hotel or someplace, that's a different story. But going somewhere with an intention, with a purpose is, in my opinion, an absolute no-no in terms of Baba, because he does not want us to lose or fritter away all the gifts that he has given us. So we need to go back straight home. So that's the story. I also remember another similar episode, and I have said this in these forums also, where Baba was physically present and some Baba people had come to visit Baba and they visited Baba, and that was the time for them to leave. And so Baba said, so now what is your plan? So they say, Baba, now we will go to Shirdi, then to Sakori, and then go back home. Baba did not check them, or Baba did not say, do not go, because after all, Shirdi Sai Baba and Upasni Maharaj are in a sense Baba's Sadguru. But what Baba said was very pertinent and very, very, I would say, very subtle for us to take a cue from that. What did he say? Sai Baba and Upasni Maharaj are now in me. They are both within me. I would interpret this as there is no need for us to go any such place after visiting Baba. If somebody likes to visit, let them, because they do, many people are there. They do this Panch Dham, Sat Dham, something, I don't know what they are, but they would go to different places. And there are people who do go to Mehrabad and then Shirdi and then Sakori and then who's that, Aurangabad, that Valley of Saints where Zarzari Zarbak's Samadhi is there, and some other places, and then go back home. Now, I am not qualified to say go or do not go. But Baba's wish is that if you go to Meher Baba, number one, there is no need for us to go anywhere else. And number two, if there are some samskaras left within us that we want to do all these dhams, then nobody stops, nobody can stop, because Baba himself did not stop them, but very subtly said that Sai Baba and Upasni Maharaj are now in me. So if there is some samskaras left for us to go to different places, then go there, then finally go to Mehrabad and then go back home. So this is the lesson which Baba had been giving us, and I hope we try to follow as best as we can. So that was the first learning lesson, that go straight home. Now the second one, sorry.
Sorry for the interruption.
No, not at all. Go ahead.
I had another story.
Please do it. Please.
And when there is a Savas, Baba asked to translate in Marathi. So Dake Phadkar said,
yes,
to go to Shirdi and Sakori.
You don't go to anywhere except this. Yeah.
Yeah. Then he said, if you want to go home and then go.
Yeah.
That's and another story of Katta Subbarao.
No, but then Baba objected. I never said this. You have added on your own.
Yeah, that's what. Then he asked VGK to interpret.
Yeah.
And another story is Katta Subbarao. He came for Baba's this thing. Suddenly he received a phone call from that he has to attend a business meeting in Bombay. Then Baba said, you want to follow me? He said, yes. Then stay back. He stayed back and then went home. And then he went to Bombay from Elur again. Sorry for the interruption.
No. Merchant, never ever feel that there is an interruption. We are all equal, and I would love such sharing. Yeah, because we get to learn. We get to know so many things from so many people. So thank you very much, Merchant.
Oh, thank you.
All right. Now the other episode, again I say I'm repeating it. And the best part is I'm repeating so many times. I keep repeating. The other aspect of Baba is One is, of course, that we should not run after or go in search of any other saint, Mahatma, Mahapurush, Yogi, whatever, after having come to Meher Baba. It is as simple as that, that if you and I have this firm conviction that Meher Baba is the avatar of the age, then there can never be anybody superior to him. So it actually is an insult to Baba if we go like this. As I said last time, if somebody comes, by all means, pay respects. If you are compelled to go, let us say the family says, no, no, we are going to this particular place to see this particular Maharaj or Mahatma or somebody, and if you can't avoid it, then I think Baba had said, then go. But at the time of paying respects, think about me. Think that you are respecting me in him. Because there are times when you feel very obliged or compelled to do certain things. In that case, Baba says, think about me. As you are bowing down, think about me. As you pay respects, think about me. The other aspect that Baba would say was not to bow down to anybody. Now, there could be several reasons, and this is my own interpretation, that other than the five perfect masters, and of course the avatar who's the eternal living perfect master, and also the other perfect ones, the 51 perfect ones, comprising of the mazubs and the saliks. Apart from those, nobody has the capacity and the qualification to take upon themselves the samskaras and the karmas and the responsibility of the other people or the general public. In other words, when you bow down to somebody who is a sadhu or a saint or a Mahapurush or a Mahatma or a yogi or even a wali, he is not perfect. So actually when you bow down to him, you are giving your samskaras to him. And therefore, his spiritual progress is, I would not say stopped, but it becomes a little difficult because now he has to carry the additional burden of your samskaras because you bow down to him. That could be one reason that Baba said that do not bow down to anybody else, number one. And number two, Baba also said never to allow anybody else to bow down to you. Now, this bowing down can be of two types, as we know, especially in India. There is a bowing down out of respect. People, when they leave home, they bow down to their parents, or when you meet after some long time, you bow down to the elders, you bow down as a matter of respect. And I think that is absolutely okay and permitted. But what Baba must have meant was that I consider myself or somebody considers himself or herself as a guru, and they allow people to really do the Sashtang Namaskar or bowing down to your feet or putting their forehead on your feet. It's an absolute, what should I say? Swami understood what I said. Nahi. Okay. So what I'm trying to say, never ever allow anybody to bow down. The Manli were so particular about this that if by mistake we bow down to them out of respect, immediately they would bow down to us in the same manner as we bow down to them. Now today there's a fashion that charan sparsh nahi hota hai, abhi ghutan sparsh ho gaya hai. I've seen people, they will only go up to the knee and not bow down all the way down. What I'm trying to say is they would return the action for action. And I distinctly remember one episode when Alobaji had come to our center and he was giving a talk. He was talking, and all of a sudden some newcomer came. Newcomer means you would have definitely known Alobaji, and he went and bowed down to Aloba when Aloba was speaking at the Bombay Center. Aloba was so furious, and you know how Aloba, he shouted, hey, very, very heavily, and asked him to stop there. That fellow was absolutely nonplussed. And he said, wait, don't move, And then he also bowed down, to that person and repeated, never. Baba was so against bowing down, and he said, never do that. Now, the story that I'm going to narrate is about, we all know our Pratap Ahir. He was the secretary of the Pune Center. He was also one of our trustees at the Bombay Center. He tendered his resignation because of his having shifted to Pune and because of his health. So he narrated this story, that this was sometime when Baba would be visiting Guru Prasad during the summer months. And Baba would have his meetings. And on that particular day, one genuinely saintly person by the name of Joshi Maharaj, Joshi Bua. He was also called Joshi Maharaj, and he was also referred to as Joshi Bua. He had come to meet Meher Baba in the morning session, and Meher Baba gave him some spiritual advice because he was a genuine saint, spiritual advice. And he also said that I will tell you something later on. So then that was the morning session. Then in the session later on, Baba must have dictated something to Airaj, and that particular message was to be conveyed to Joshi Bua. Now, after the session was over, all of a sudden Baba remembered. Now, this is when I say all of a sudden Baba remembered. It is all his divine Leela. He knows everything, he remembers everything. And he tells Airaj, Are Airaj, you did not remind me. We were supposed to give this to Joshi Bua. Now what to do? So Airaj looks around and Baba says, just look around if there is somebody over there. And when Airaj looks around, he finds that Pratap Ahir was just around somewhere over there. Now Pratap narrates that he generally does not have his afternoon lunch during those times. So Pratap is summoned before Baba, and Baba tells him that you did not go for food and all that. So he said, no, I remain light and all that. And he said, I've got some work for you. Will you do it for me? So Pratapji says, yes, of course, why not? And he said, this is one letter, some message, which is to be given to one gentleman by the name of Joshi Bua, and the address and everything was there. So Baba asked whether you'll be able to deliver. So he said, yes, I will. Then Baba asked, how will you go? So he gestured on a bicycle because he had the bicycle. Pratap had the bicycle. So Pratap is off to find out where Joshi Bua is and to give this message. And Baba, this is how I remembered Pratapji narrating the story. Baba clicked like this and said, Jat se ja or Jat se aaja. Means go fast and come back quickly. So, Ji Baba. And he goes. And when he goes there, obviously he tries to find out where is Joshi Bua, where does he live and all that. So he was told that that person over there, he had just finished his lunch, Joshi Bua, and he was washing his hands in a tap outside in a jhopdi or wherever.
No,
In a house. Okay. So, how can it be house? So, immediately Pratap asks, आप जोशी मराठी में पूछा होगा, आप जोशी बुआ हो? So that gentleman replies, इस देह को जोशी बुआ बोलते हैं. इस देह को जोशी बुआ कहते हैं. It means definitely that means he has now identified himself not as the body. Deha means the body. So बोलता है इस देह को, this particular body is referred to as Joshi Bua. So he is very happy. Pratapji says, I have come from Meher Baba. So immediately respectfully he gets up and says, I have got this message for you and I need to go. So he said, wait, come inside. So he's taken into his room or wherever that was. And he said, sit. And Joshi Bua gives him a little prasad. So immediately Prasad, he takes it in his hands and says to Joshi Bua, I need to go back and report to Baba. He said, go. So he is not eating the Prasad. He is holding this in his hands and holding the bicycle and going back to Baba. Now this is extremely important. The moment Baba sees Pratapji return after completing his errand which Baba had given, the very first question that Baba asked, you did not bow down to him, no? I'm repeating. The very first question, he's not asking, mil gaya, jaga mil gaya, did you find the place, did you find it difficulty, blah, 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 nothing. He said, you did not bow down, no? So immediately he says, no, Baba. And Baba's face radiated like, thank you. Good that you did not bow down to him. And then Baba says, I'm very happy that you did not bow down to him. And then Pratap is showing his hands, Baba says, what is it? So he says, Prasad. This is the Prasad which he has given. Baba says, eat it up, finish it up. So he eats up the Prasad. Again, from this episode, what is the message? That Baba was so particular, so sensitive, that once having come to Baba, once having bowed down to Baba or his Samadhi, we have to be very particular not to go to any saint, not to seek them out and not to bow down to them. Whatever may be the reason. My interpretation was that we are offering our load to the other person, and Baba is so concerned that other person who is on the spiritual path should not be hindered in his spiritual progress, and therefore Baba says that we should not bow down to anybody. This is my interpretation. That was the second episode for today. The third episode is Baba had himself said, and I have read it also somewhere, that even if one member of the family is a genuine lover of Meher Baba, Baba covers the other members of the family, even though they may or may not be following Meher Baba. So this is. So go ahead, say. Go. I don't know. Soumya prompts me. Why don't you say? Soumya prompts me to say. Baba told Rano Geli that even if one member comes, then Baba will look after their 7 generations. 7 generations. Okay. But here I am talking about the first generation only of the family. Now this, I have not taken the so-called permission from the person who used to be on our sessions. She's not coming now, maybe because of timing and all that. And this story or this anecdote was told to us, Soumya and myself, by the mother-in-law. Here also mother-in-law comes in, of Perin Jasumani. We all know Perin Jasumani. She's from Canada. She lives in Ontario. And we had gone somewhere over there.
I think she's there on the group, Cyrus.
Is she there today?
I think, wait, let me check.
If Perin is there, I would like her to correct me. Okay, never mind. I hope she doesn't mind it. And I hope she corrects me if I go wrong. Because this is what I heard from her mother-in-law, Mani, whose name was Mani. Mani Jasumani. Now Perin is married to Mani's son, who is Adi, who is Perin's husband, Adi Jasumani. Correct. Now I think we've got our bearings correct. Now Adi initially was not very much, what should I say, closely associated with Meher Baba. Maybe he was respectful, but he never stopped Perin from coming and Perrine would keep coming almost every year. And we all know, even last year also she was there. She always comes over here. So Mani says, that means Perrine's mother-in-law says, that there was a time when Perrine's husband Adi was extremely sick, something to do with the heart, to such an extent that he was restrained from flying back to India, because the mother always would like their son to, it was a gone case, and he was extremely critical, and he cannot fly back to India to his own parents or own home. Now, in that colony where Mani stays, it seems that in one of the houses, they would have some kind of satsang, some spiritual, whatever you call it, exercise, where on a particular day, some particular Devi would enter some particular person's body, and on that particular day, many people go there, and when you ask questions, then the answer comes forth. So that is the scenario. Now, Mani, being a follower of Meher Baba, she said that I don't believe in all these things. Baba doesn't want us to get involved or embroiled in all these things. When we have Baba with us, we don't have to really worry or be concerned, because ultimately, at the end of the day, whatever Baba wills will happen. So she was very restrained. She did not want to go. And then she says, but what can I say? She says, a mother's heart is a mother's heart. And she felt that I must find out whether my son Adi would survive or would drop his physical body. She was so, that motherly feeling, motherly instinct, motherly emotion just took over her. And she said, I know what I'm doing is not going to please Meher Baba, but I feel like going there, and at least once I'll go there and ask the question as to what will happen about my son, because he can't travel back. So she goes there and she stands there, and I don't know what happens in those meetings, because I've never attended any of those meetings, but there was this question in her heart, and which she like tells that my son is abroad and he's very critical and I am very concerned about his health. That particular Devi, whatever that is, says through somebody, because that person is possessed, and that person says words to the effect, these words, कि आपकी जो बहू है, which means Perrine, आपकी बहू है जो जिसमें मानती है, the one who believes, your bahu, your daughter-in-law, he believes in some, she believes in, she believes in somebody who is so great that he is taking care of your son. So you do not have to worry about that. I'll repeat. She says in Hindi, आपकी बहू जिसमें मानती है वो इतना महान है, इतना बड़ा है, उसकी नजर आपके बेटे के ऊपर है, तो आपके बेटे को कुछ नहीं होगा. So these were the words, and true to those words, Adi is still alive. Last time when Perrine had come here, we had Swami and I, we both went there. We met Adi after several years. He is old, but he is alive. कहने का तात्पर्य है, okay, मैं हिंदी में थोड़ा ट्रैक चेंज कर दिया. So what I'm trying to convey is that even if one single person in the family has complete trust and faith in Baba, is totally anchored in Baba, then Baba takes care of the entire family. And Soumya says that Baba had told, who was it, Rano, Geli, that
Her
that
brother
two
was
that her brother was not well. Then he said,
not
"Don't
brother,
worry."
her brother
What?
was
What?
believing.
Okay, fine. Not believing. In short, we are also fortunate, and all that we need to do now is go deeper and deeper and deeper in our faith, dependence, reliance on Avatar Meher Baba. That's our job now. And let us, we leave everything to his. Katie, you have a question to ask? Please unmute your mic. Please unmute.
Sorry. See, because whenever I go to Meher Baba, from there I go to Agyari of Ahmednagar.
Haji.
And some people have got a lot of objections, you know. They say, why do you go to this Agyari now? Just now you only said saint. Now, Agyari is not a saint. Agyari is a living entity. Fire is a living entity. I mean, what wrong have I done if I go to the fire temple? And I have heard a lot from many people, and then I feel they are fanatics. They are not Baba. I mean, it's not. I'm surely would not have objected. I mean, I have not given up a Zoroastrian religion. So I'm still practicing Zoroastrian. So I feel very hurt. So now we decided either I go quietly, koi nahi kaya vagar, just.
Okay.
Otherwise, you tend to tell people, do you want to come and take your rickshaw? So many people say, yeah. Last time, believe me, when I went there, 2-3 people scolded me, and then 30 people came with me. Then the MPR bus only went through that trust office and that.
Okay.
So going to the again.
If you are, if you are just narrating your incident, we are all listening.
Honestly, I have not given up a Zoroastrian religion, and I made it very clear to Baba.
Nobody wants us to leave our religion, but Baba wants us to stick to the core of our religion, which is Humata Hukta Huvarasta, good thoughts, good words, good deeds. But now having come to Baba, this is my take, this is how I look at it. There is no comparison between Agyari and Meher Baba.
Oh.
There's no comparison. I mean, Meher Baba is far, far, far superior. So I think, this is my take, this is how I look at it, that in order not to displease Baba, and in order also to please my own emotions towards Agyari, I would personally, if I were in your place, I would personally do the Agyari business first, and then go to Meher Baba, and then go back home. I would do that first, so that it's a win-win situation. You are happy. Baba has never ever said, don't go to Mandir, Masjid and all that. But at the same time, one should be very clear in our head that you cannot compare the husk to the kernel. So Baba is the real thing. And Agyari, because of our own emotions, because I come from a priest class family. And if you hear my so-called interview in Roshni's, that play, where I said I used to go, sorry, very sorry, 1 second. Once a day, Agyari was like compulsion. Twice a day was normal. And sometimes three times a day, I would go to the Agyari during the times before I met Meher Baba. It was beautiful. It still is beautiful as and when I feel the intuition to just go there and visit. But I don't compare that with Meher Baba. So what I'm trying to convey to you is a win-win situation when you are happy, the people are also happy, and Meher Baba is always happy. So go to all these places if you want to go first.
Only
Then
Agyari,
after bowing down to Meher Baba, you straight go home. That's what I want to say.
Only Agyari, nowhere else.
Okay, now there are
Cyrus Ji.
Couple of people want to say certain things. Yes, go ahead, Merchant.
It reminds me.
Sorry. Let the divine postmaster give one by one the chance.
Sorry, I think Dilshad and Meher wanted to say something.
Meher has a question. Dilshad has a question.
Okay. So
Meher,
who? Even
Meher.
Merchant wants to say, you give them you put them in a queue and let them come one after the other.
I don't want to put any question. I want to clarify one thing is what Meher told me.
Please do
What
that.
happened? Once there was a small chit chat in the women porch there. I think Meru told once, if somebody wants to go somewhere, please don't stop them.
Correct.
If somebody wants to go, then please don't forcefully stop them.
Correct.
By stopping them, you are doing, instead of doing favor to him, you are doing harm to him, because that each will be remains with that, and that samskaras won't be wiped off. Once he
Correct.
goes, okay, let Baba let go and come back. She knows the real thing. That's what I want to
agree.
share with
I
you.
agree with you. I agree.
Jai Mehr Baba. Sorry,
Jai
Ray,
Baba.
Postman
Thank you.
ji.
See, because there are many people who are attached, their samskaras are there. They cannot but do what the samskaras prompt you to do, unless and until you are so firm, so anchored, so deeply grounded that Meher Baba is the avatar of the age, that he is the highest of the high, and my job is only one, to please him, to hold on to his daman, to please him. And if I feel that he may not be happy if I do here and there, then I would stop doing it. So this is my take, but this is how I look at it. But as you rightly say, if the samskaras are there, people will continue to do that. And I have nothing to say. We are not qualified. We should not say anything to anybody as to don't do this and don't do that. So now that, okay, now Divine Postman, give the second person a chance.
Meher Daruwala,
Okay.
you can unmute your mic.
Baba. Jai Baba. Cyrus, once just now recently I'd gone to Mehrabad, yeah? And with me there was Manik auntie. This thing.
Yes, yes.
She goes on telling me, let's go to Agyari, let's go to Agyari. And I said to her, Manik auntie, maine jawu tame jawo. But હું બાબાને આગળ આવી બાબાને દર્શન લેવા હું નહીં આવવાની છું. So she was quite shaken after, how could I say no? And she says, you're a Parsi, you shouldn't say this. Agyari ma આવાય. So I just said, ઘણા અગિયારી છે બોમ્બે માં બી. હું બોમ્બે માં જાઉં અગિયારી માં. જય બાબા.
Jai Baba. So in short, there is no right, there is no wrong, there is no good, there is no bad. Whatever you feel like doing, do it. But at the same time, keep Baba's wish in your mind, that what would Baba like us to do. Acha, anybody else? I think
Meher
Nisha had a
Daruwala.
question.
No,
Yeah.
Dilshad come in, and then
Okay.
Dinku.
Come in,
After
Dilshad.
that. Dilshad.
Jai Baba, Cyrus ji and
Jai
Sonia.
Baba, Dilshad. Bolo ji.
Cyrus ji, I have 3 questions.
3. Okay.
One is
Ask the third one first.
the third one.
No, go ahead. Just joking.
Okay. First question is that about not going anywhere but your home after Samadhi visit. Does it
Yes.
apply to the center also? Does it apply to Mumbai center and other local centers also? That
According
after
to me, no. According to me, no.
because in a place like Bombay, it is very tough.
No.
and I've been
According
told
to
that-
me, I agree with you. According to me only. And even, see, to be very, very honest, I don't even know whether that applies to Baba's Samadhi also or not, because according to my reading, Baba had not said that after coming to my Samadhi, go back home. Let's put it very bluntly. But Baba himself, when he was physically present, used to do that. And so we are extending that to the Samadhi as well. Especially when we got to hear about Suji Biddu's story, we felt that, well, Baba is there in it. And so that should apply to Baba Samadhi as well. So no, if you are asking me if it applies to the center, my answer would be, I don't think so.
And even
Question number 2.
Samadhi, then that means there's a question. I thought it was all to do with Samadhi. Definitely one should go home.
Sorry, go ahead.
You
Please come back.
mentioned just now that that was the going home directly after Baba's darshan was when he was in person. So
Yes.
Samadhi also is open to interpretation.
Well, it is, in a sense, it is. See, everything is open to interpretation.
Okay. Got it.
Everything is, yeah.
Got it.
Unless I read in any authentic literature of Baba where Baba says, after my death, after my physical form is given and I lie in my samadhi, I would be there, in the sense that all those rules apply, then yes.
Got it.
But we are taking it, that, what is it?
Sure.
Oh,
So
okay,
second
thank you, Perrin. Okay, go ahead.
second question is
Yeah.
my second question is that I have seen a couple of very staunch Baba lovers and very I mean, no questions asked. They so fanatically believe in Baba, but at the same time, those very senior people have told me that Baba himself used to go and bow down to a temple or a peer or a dargah or something. And even during Lord Meher, as I was reading, Baba when he went to Calcutta and all that, I mean, Baba, so the question, so that senior person tells me that Baba potani hayati mein jo bijane
Okay.
salutations karta tha, to શું
Yes.
વાંધો છે? And the second, and a part of that is that during Ganesh festival also, some people say that I have grown up with Ganesh ji from the beginning. I have also had belief in all these people, all these deities. I feel just as Baba calls us, even in my life, Ganesh ji, Shiva ji, Hanuman ji have come in my life, but now it is only Meher Baba. But the argument given is that, we believe in Baba. Baba also believes Ganesh ji. Baba. Then there was also a thing write up about what Baba says Ganesh ji as the, the ancient soul, and Shiv ji as his
Yes,
father
yes,
and all
yes,
that.
yes. Okay,
So
my
then,
answer to this would be that Baba going and bowing down to different people and to the different samadhis and mazars and going to the temples and all that has nothing to do with the bowing down that we do. In my understanding, Baba has given an explanation that so many people go over there and there is a mismatch of all the samskaras, entanglement of samskaras. So he goes to disentangle that and also to recharge those samadhis for places of worship for years to come. So when Baba bows down, it doesn't mean the same thing as we bowing down. See, the fact is that Baba says, do not do what I do, but do what I tell you to do. So you cannot compare that Baba had bowed down to all those sadhus, thousands upon thousands in the new life. It doesn't mean that we should do all these things. Got it?
Yes, Cyrus ji. And
Third question.
My last question, yes, is that I mean, you say you go to the Parsi Agyari mainly because it gives a good environment, or you feel like that. But in Agyari, we Parsis bow down to fire. Atash Putra Avramasdao, fire as the son of God. What
Yes.
is your take on that, and how appropriate is that?
I think that should be. I think that should be okay, because that's not a living being in the sense of a living person. So these are again my impressions, my opinions, based on my reading of Meher Baba. In my understanding, that is permitted, that is okay, that is allowable. In fact, Baba has sent so many people of his bundli to go and bow down to various temples, gurdwaras, masjids and all. But that is for his own work. And if your question is, should we be bowing down to Atash Padsha? My answer would be yes. Why not? Got all your answers checked?
Cyrus, just
Alright.
one small thing. We believe
You said
fire.
three. You said
No,
three.
no, no. Within the third question only, that we believe fire as the son of God. So in
Okay.
that sense, it is a sort of a ansh of avatar. So is it still okay?
No, even
Baba
then,
has not
see,
said all that.
I don't know about
No,
all
Baba
these
has
things.
not said.
Yeah,
This
yeah,
is
I
the
would
text
say
of the
okay. If the question is between okay and not okay, just bow down to anybody and anything in your heart. Keep Baba with you and think that you are bowing down to a form of Baba. Because after all, the fire cannot be unless Baba is in that. You getting me?
Yes,
So
and
Baba is in
our
everything.
community.
Baba is in Agyari, Baba is in Atash Beram, in Mandir, Masjid, Gurdwara, and whatever other places of worship. So bow down with that intent that you are bowing down to Baba in that particular place. So then all your doubts are all answered.
Thank you. Thank you
Okay,
so much.
I have a certain
Shiva.
episode.
Yeah, wait.
I also have a
Baba-
small thing to
Baba-
add.
Soumya has something to say. Yeah, go ahead.
Dilshad Baba had said Shiva was the first one who made it by
Inco's
himself.
come.
And about Ganesha, he said that Ganesha was the first avatar. Now I don't know. You can always say how can you know, but since you said about Shiva has come in your life and Ganesha, so in that context, I'm just giving this bit. Then you will wonder how come Shiva and Ganesha were together. I cannot answer that. They can only say that this is what Baba said about Shiva, and Baba said about Ganesha. Ganesha being the first avatar and Shiva being the first one.
Soumya, what
Now-
I was trying,
Let's not.
I am just
we are
putting that.
we are digressing from the main.
just
If
as a
you
point.
got your answer, Dilshad, fine.
no, now that Soumya has said,
Okay, then let Soumya answer that. Come on, Soumya, go ahead.
no, Soumya,
Ask.
no, so if Baba, I know but that was also circulated. It was also circulated about what Baba has said about Ganeshji and Shivji. But Baba has said there are 7 avatars. And in that sense, then it would say, okay, we can bow down to Ganeshji because Baba said as avatar, or should we have those 5 Ganesh festivals of 9 days and the Visarjan and all that.
Don't misunderstand. Ganesh festival was a political reason why Lokmanya Tilak made the most of it to forward the freedom struggle. So,
but the
before
festival is
Lokmanya Tilak, there was no Ganesh Sarvajanik Ganesh festival.
I know that. I know that. So, but still, that festival is dedicated to worship of Ganeshji.
Of course. Otherwise, how would he get permission from the British? Of course it
was. Then is that right again? As Baba
There is
Lava?
no right, there is no wrong. If you feel like doing it, go ahead and do it. Because we said, no, Shivji, you have got with, and then this is not the first, these are not the recent, these are the recent avatars. Baba said there's so many avatars who have come and gone over a period of time. So this is just the latest 7 major avatars that Baba has referred to. There's so many who have come and gone. And there will be so many who will be coming.
I think we are digressing, Soumya. Now, coming back to do not do what Baba is doing, do what I say. I am reminded of a story, and I had narrated this year in this forum. Once Baba, we all know that Baba used to play cards, and it is his own work that he does. It is not that he loves playing cards or anything. It's his own spiritual work, and he used to cheat because it should happen that he must always win. He's the winner. So by hook or by crook, he must win. So one fine day, they were all sitting together in a big circle, and we all know that game called Larisk, which is not the Larisk that we know of, but then it was Baba's own innovation. And Dr. Ghani, who was sitting in one of the teams, he cheated. He cheated in a manner as if, Baba would not know about it. It was done in such a swift move that Baba would not have recognized this. It happened like that. And Baba immediately stopped the game and said, I am reminded of a story which I want to narrate. And then Baba says this story, that once there was a perfect master and he had several disciples. And he said that I want to just go for a walk. So he started walking in the bazaar. And as they were walking, they passed through, and he was a very respected master. Everybody knew him and respected him. So he just picks up a sweet meat, something like a peda barfi, and pops it in his mouth and moves on. And the disciple behind, 1 or 2 or 3 disciples, they also pick up the sweet meat and they pop, and then they move on. Fair enough. Then a little aage chala, and then they came to some other shop, some savoury or some, some other shop like a bakery or something. And the perfect master picked up one particular savoury from there and popped it in his mouth. And again, all of them did the same thing. And nothing was said. Nothing. Baba is narrating this story as they're playing the cards. Again, they move on a little while, and then they come across a place, what is known as a blacksmith. A blacksmith is one, who works with hot coal, koila, hot, red, hot coal. And so the perfect master picks up a coal and pops it in his mouth. And then he sees behind whether those people are popping. They have the courage to pop that hot burning charcoal and put it in the mouth. And then the master looks at them and says, why don't you do this? Of course, they had no answer. That is when Baba says, do not do what I do. Do what I tell you to do. Why? Because Gani cheated, because Baba always cheated. So the message was, don't cheat because I am cheating. I am cheating because he has a certain work to do, certain work to perform in that particular scenario, and your cheating has no value whatsoever. So that is the long and short. That was for Dilshad when she said about doing what others are doing, right? All right. Now anybody, Farida has a question. I'm so sorry. Let the divine postmaster tell me whose
Yeah,
question.
Farida had a question. Actually,
Yeah, Farida, go ahead. Yes, Farida. So I suppose today we had a very light-hearted session because somebody said, "Arey Baba, tumhara sessions are very heavy." So
Farida, your mic is echoing.
Okay, Farida, your mic.
Yeah, 1 minute. Can you hear me now properly?
Little better, yes.
Okay, this is nothing to do with any of the stories, but this question is coming in my mind, that we're having such beautiful sessions with Baba, and I am completely now into Baba. So a few years back, I became very mechanical, and somewhere I feel that we are not including children in these sessions. So is it possible that, we can have something for children? Because we are already in an age, like, some of us feel we want to go here, there. Our minds are already conditioned. But if we can introduce children to spirituality, I feel they would be attracted towards, even though they do it because we as parents go to Mehrabad or we pray. But children, if they are introduced to spirituality at an early age, I feel a lot can be done for them, and they will benefit more than what we are benefiting at such a later age. So that is just something which is keeping on coming in my mind, especially now that I have a daughter who just does her custody. That's it. But introducing kids to spirituality.
Yeah, actually, it is for the parents.
Say anything about it.
Yes, go
I
ahead.
think it is for the parents to have the children sit by. And I can tell you this, that, when we used to have our sessions at Mumbai, one of our friends' granddaughter, she used to insist that, Granny, I want to come, and she used to be sitting in the session when we are reading Baba's literature, and she used to be so proactive. So, so I think it speaks a lot of the upbringing.
So what Soumya is trying to, and I agree, that see now, of course, there are a few books for the children, but they would not take on their own. The thing is, they always follow the example of the seniors, of their parents or of their teachers or of somebody, So there have been times when we have seen, even in our Pune sessions,
Rishi.
In our Pune session, we have about 4 to 5 Vivan and Sehaj and Rishi, and there are quite a few youngsters who would be in the forefront. Gayatri, they would be in the forefront.
Absolutely.
And they would be asking maximum question. Why? Because their parents bring them to these sessions. There's a little echoing happening somewhere. Farida, can you mute your mic? Farida. Farida, can you, please. Yeah. So what I'm trying to say is, yes, it is a very good thought. It is for the parents to somehow very, very diplomatically, very discreetly encourage them to come to these sessions, and their minds are very, very fertile, and then they ask so many questions which we do not know how to answer actually. And but it is not
Yeah,
that
Parisa is a small girl. She's
even
only
that that Yasu's granddaughter.
Daisha. Yeah. Yasu. Yeah.
Daisha. So there are quite a few youngsters. I have seen them in the Bombay Center and also in Pune, mostly in the Pune reading, where quite a few people, they do come and come with so many questions. All right. Thank you, Farid. Farida, please mute your mic. There's a lot of echoing.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, Ram. Yeah, Ram, go ahead.
I have a question. So
Dinku.
actually, it's a suggestion.
Ram. Dinku.
Dinku is in queue.
Are bapre. Okay, whosoever, come on, ask.
Dinku.
Okay, see.
Yeah, hi, Jai Baba.
Jai Baba.
No, I just want to know when you talked about the bowing down, and I think you partially answered through Dilshad's question. Basically, I don't feel like going to the Agyari. I prefer to just do my prayers at home. But when I have to go, I have to go. So at that time, when you have to just, put the sukkah and bow down to the fire, is that okay? And you bow down to the...
I think why not? See, everything is okay. Let us not be very fanatic or, like the Baba. No, not like that. Just be very open. And if you have to do because of some social obligations and all that, by all means do it. Why not?
Okay.
I personally don't. I'm just giving a personal opinion that I don't feel ashamed when people are buying huge sticks of sandalwood to be offered to the fire, but I don't carry anything to the fire. I just bow down and say, hi, good morning, Jai Baba. Like that, So it's, it's to each his own. I'm not saying do it or don't do it. If you're asking me, is it okay for you to offer the sandalwood to the fire? Yes, why not? In fact, in our dhuni, we do offer sandalwood and the wood in our dhuni, Baba's dhuni, we do offer that. It is like to each his own, nothing wrong, nothing right. You do whatever you feel best.
Yeah, it's just that, like, I was, because my mother passed away last year, I had to do her prayers because she wanted it. She knew that we were not really into it, me and my brothers.
Right.
But for her sake, we did it.
Right.
And we did it for that 1 year, and so I followed everything through.
I would do the same thing just to please the sentiment of the other person. Why not?
Yeah.
Why not? We are pleasing them. We are not doing it because of our reason. But when Baba always said that we must not hurt the feelings of the others, and even if they are so-called dead and gone, that feeling is still there, so there's no harm in doing it. I agree with you, Dinku.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, Ram.
Archana, I think.
Okay,
Sorry, Ram uncle. Raised
yeah,
hand,
so
that's
I
why.
have.
Go ahead. Ram, you are muted.
Somebody muted me out, so.
Archana was in the queue, Ram. Archana was in the queue.
Arre, you told me after that I was in the queue. Now you told somebody else.
Ram, let me give you a cue. You must give chai to this postmaster.
Yes.
He loves chai. If you don't give chai, he will mute you over and over again.
I will give him
mute you. Remember that. Okay, go ahead, Archana.
Jai Baba.
Jai Baba.
This is in response to Farida. You see, the Bombay Center is definitely trying to involve children and get them closer to Baba and know about him.
Oh, yes, your own grandson. Yes,
yeah,
I forgot, yeah.
Besides
how
that,
active he was. Yeah.
yes. Besides that, this year we are having the WHH, which is Winning His Heart, from the Bombay Center, where we began the program with a thing called Paint the Heart, where we had a fantastic response from young children.
Yes.
So, and secondly, there is presently a program going on meditation, where there are 2 children who are actively participating. So I agree with what Cyrus ji said, that, it depends on the family, the parents, to introduce Baba to the child when he's a very small baby, because that's what I did with my grandson.
We are
So-
sorry. We are very. We are so. I am sorry. I missed out on your.
No, that's not
Yeah.
the point was
No, we
that
only
we
spoke of those children who came to the.
Yeah. Correct.
Sorry.
No,
Many of them.
my wanting to come in was to just inform Farida that we are having sessions
There are.
and
there
every
are.
Sunday. We still
And they are
have 3 more
taking
to
very
go.
good interest in Baba.
And,
Yes.
and actually, like underlying is the family has to inculcate.
No, this session is being conducted by Meherveena Rangnekar, and she has had an animated story made in the beginning, which actually attracts these little children into the whole thing. So I just wanted you to know, Farida.
Right.
Thank you.
So
Jai
now
Baba.
who is next?
Now it's Ram.
Now
Yeah,
Ram.
Yes!
Finally.
At last.
Finally.
Go ahead.
Yes,
Go
No,
ahead.
actually-
He did not give me chai. He didn't give me chai.
I said I'll give you beer, man. Come on.
Yeah. Go ahead. No,
No,
if you are giving beer, then I should also join it.
Oh, for you Scotch, come on
Thank
over.
you. Thank you.
You have to be very careful in pushing children. They may look now, they may seem happy now, but it should not. Eventually, I'm afraid it might become repulsive if you push. Don't push. If they volunteer, they want to
Absolutely.
come, that's fine.
Yeah.
And see, growing up, we nobody ever pushed us. And especially for the book readings, please don't bring children. That will be, if you're going to take your child, to God speak, which is very difficult for even grown-ups to understand. It's not going to do them any good. And I also strongly believe a child has to be a child, and a child should be doing what children do. That's play and run around. And if the express come and say it's Arati, that's all fine. Take prasad, that's fine. But don't push them too hard. So if you push them too hard and force them, oh, let's go to Baba thing, that could become repulsive.
Thank you, Ram. Thank you, Ram.
Okay.
Anybody else?
Yeah, now is Mehchan Noori, his brothers coming in.
Oh my God.
These Nori brothers are capturing the scene.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Mehchan. I'm just joking. Whatever I say, please discount. 80% discount.
No. What is?
Okay, go ahead.
I just want to tell you what's happening in Jubilee Hill Center. We have 4 Sundays in a month dedicated for various programs. Any month we got a 5th Sunday. We give 1 hour total program to the children, which is totally managed by the children themselves. That includes program of skits, small skits, reciting prayers, doing some dance, and also singing, and also they're telling about storytelling like that. Every 5th Sunday or any month which 5th Sunday falls. That is the procedure we follow in Jubilee. Only to encourage children. We got a good number of children who is far better than me. I totally say so.
In short, things are being done, and let us do it in a very phased, gradual manner without forcing them. Anybody else, Rakesh?
We all agree with Claire when he said they're better than us.
Yeah. Now I have 2 requests. One is I would like Ravi to come on the screen so that we all know who Ravi and Shivani is.
Mayor Daruwala with a question.
Oh, Mayor Daruwala has something to say.
And Cyrus, one more thing. Even my kids used to come when they were young.
Yeah, my God. How can we forget that? I think you will have to, what should I say? Give me some medicine. Tell your doctor wife to give me some medicine.
No,
for
you're
remembering memory. Yes. In fact, Rakesh is both the children have been so extensively participating in our Baba programs. I'm so sorry, Rakesh.
And they are another level altogether. My God.
Yeah. No. I just want to complete my apology to Rakesh. So I think I owe you 3 beers. Maybe when we meet again after the lockdown, I'll convey my apology through the beers. Ravi has come on the screen. This is Ravi Segal.
Ravi, and where is Shivani?
Where is Shivani? Hey, Jai Baba. Happy wedding anniversary to Ravi and Shivani. Yeah, just to let you know, Ravi is the Vice President of the Avtar Meher Baba Center, Delhi. And Shivani is the daughter of the earlier president
Malhotra uncle.
Malhotra ji, Malhotra uncle. So that is Ravi and Shivani Segal. Thank you very much.
Start your video.
They feel Jai Baba.
How color coordinated.
Jai Baba. Happy wedding anniversary.
Thank you.
Jai Baba. Jai Baba. Jai Baba. All right. Any more questions or shall we go? I wanted Perrin also to come in because Perrin wrote something which I could not read fast. Is Perrin Jasuman here?
Sorry, I think Delna wants to share something.
Perrin is
Okay,
also
we'll
in.
do that also.
Perrin is also in.
Perrin is in. Perrin is in. Because it seems that she was not aware of this particular episode.
Okay.
All right. Anyway, let Delna come in. Let Delna come in, please.
Delna.
Jai Baba, Cyrus Soumya.
Jai Baba, come in. Come here. Come on the screen.
Yeah, I'm on the screen. What I want to share is just, Rakesh, you don't have to do that.
What?
What I wanted to share was that, like she said, you know, we should have something for kids. I have 2 kids.
Oh,
Ria came to Baba when she was 6 months. We didn't
How many kids I'm forgetting, yaar? This old chap.
now.
No, you can give her beer to me, Cyrus.
My God.
Ria comes to
I'm
Baba.
so.
Don't say so. I can. And Zidane has a very different connection with Baba. So I think they'll come when it's meant to, or they have their own connection. As long as they are
Right.
I do it, you know, rather than pushing. I agree with Ram.
Absolutely.
Rather than pushing, they will come, but give them their time and their space.
Thank you, Baba. Now I know I'm growing old. Confirmed old.
मैं दारू वाला. No, मैं दारू वाला.
Arre,
waiting till
मैं
long
दारू
time.
वाला again.
Yeah,
I think we'll have to
He has to
restrict
start and end.
each person to ask. Hi. Oh my God, how beautiful.
Yeah,
Come. This is Ria. Can you see? Okay. This is Baba. This is Ria's Baba. Okay. Let Meru come in if she wants to ask.
The thing, WHH, what there is of the Bombay Center is so good that many children did it so well that it was so nice to see them do the lovely this thing, drawings and everything. It was really worth it.
Yes.
From their heart,
Thank
they
you.
have done it. Really nice.
Okay, so now shall we just say Jai Baba that we have finished? We have extended today's time, but never mind. I hope that today's session was light. Tomorrow we'll try to make it little heavy. Okay. Star Meher Baba.
Jai.
Jai Baba.
Jai
Thank you
Baba.
very much.